Hello friends, I'm Anoosha Syed here. I am a professional illustrator for children's books as well as a character designer for animation, and I'm going to be doing a sketchbook tour today. So here is my sketchbook, and this sketchbook is actually one that I used quite a few years ago. So as most of you know, I'm actually primarily a digital illustrator. I don't really keep sketchbooks these days, but these days I'm over at my parents' house and I actually found all of my old sketchbooks from when I was in college. So I actually studied illustration at an art school in Switzerland called Ceruleum Visual, and this was the sketchbook that I kept in my last year, I think even my last semester, which would have been in 2014-2015. And I kept a lot of sketchbooks throughout my college years. I got this one, I got this one. I got sketchbooks out the wazoo, and actually I did not complete any of them. I know some people are super into completing their sketchbooks and having super polished and finished pages, but I am not one of those people. I very rarely finish a sketchbook, and I was thinking that for this video I would actually go over this sketchbook because this is the one that I guess I'm most proud of. It's the only one that I've actually pretty much finished to completion and really used it to its full potential. All of these other sketchbooks that I have on the side, I'm thinking that I might dedicate another video if you're interested in it, because these ones have work that I created early on in my first year of school and my second year of school, where my style was actually quite different, and I thought it could be fun to see maybe a progression of how much my style changed as well as my artistic ability, because definitely the work that I created in my first year is, well, it's not my best work, but it's definitely, you can see the growth of where I started in my first year entering into an art school versus what I left with. And so I've got like a bunch of sketchbooks here, and if you guys are interested in seeing those, I will definitely make another video. But today we are going to talk about this sketchbook. So the sketchbook that I have is a Moleskine or Moleskine. I'm actually not sure how it's pronounced. I know there are a lot of other sketchbook alternatives that people like to Moleskine that are quite similar, but personally I just love this brand, which is why I always end up buying this one. This one specifically is the A4 size, the Moleskine Art Plus A4 sketchbook. It has 96 pages. It's 160 GSM or 111 pounds. It's probably not thick enough, the pages aren't thick enough for painting probably, but it held Pentel markers pretty well and has a pretty good thickness. The pages have like a kind of yellowish quality to them, which I really like. It also has the little band to close your book when you're done, as well as a little bookmark on the side and a little pocket at the end, which I don't think I ever used. Also, I'm sorry if the video is a little shaky. My tripod is not the most sturdy, but anyway. On my cover, I have stickers from Maruti Bitumen. I absolutely love their artwork. But yeah, as I was saying, this sketchbook is one that I kept in my last year of art school in my illustration program. And I was using the sketchbook mainly for the purposes of developing my illustration portfolio. So in my last year of school, I also had taken on a mentorship via Motivarty, which doesn't exist anymore, but it was a really great mentorship course at the time, and I was mentored by the illustrator Meg Hunt, who I absolutely love. I absolutely love my time with her, and basically we worked together to create my illustration slash character design slash viz dev portfolio, because I wanted to be able to, like when I graduated, have something that I could send out to animation studios, to publishers and whatnot, and I wanted to develop a story for that. So basically, this sketchbook is that. And so first of all, we start off with some pretty easy breezy sketches. I think for the most part, I start off sketching with a color erase pencil. I really like the red or the orange. And then at that time, I really liked using the Pentel brush pens, which is what I used here and here, as well as these Faber-Castell Pitt artist pens in like a variety of sizes, like the small, the 0.3, 0.5 and whatnot, as well as finally the touch markers. Let me see if I have one. Yeah, this is the touch marker. I really wanted to use Copics, but they weren't available in Switzerland at the time. But this was a pretty similar alternative. So this is mainly what I used for most of the pages in this book. So yes, first starting off, just drawing girls. You know, I love drawing girls so much. And then over here, so with my mentor, Meg Hunt, basically what we had decided for my portfolio was that I was going to develop an original idea for a concept art visual development portfolio, which is what I usually saw people do when submitting to animation studios, is that people would have some kind of original concept and then pretend like they were creating designs for it as if it was like an original movie. You know, like if you've ever seen an art of book, like Art of Tangled, Art of Monsters Inc., for example, they'll have pages for character design, for prop design, environments, and whatnot. And so that's what I wanted to create for my portfolio. So this is my main character. I think his name was Rudy. And so he was a little bunny character with glasses, and these were my first designs for that. Basically, the concept of my portfolio was that my original story was a little rabbit called Rudy who ends up going and getting accepted into like a prestigious animal boarding school, but everyone in the boarding school is like a carnivore, and they're kind of out to get him, and he's just trying to fit in. Pretty similar to Zootopia, but this was before Zootopia came out. But I had a lot of fun developing that idea. And so this was my concept development for my mean girl character, the antagonist of my original idea. I forget what her name was. She is a cat character. She was a cheerleader. And so here I was playing around with a bunch of different designs for what she could look like, you know, so playing around with different body types, shapes, sizes, colors, and whatnot. And so one thing that I did in this sketchbook I kind of went really extra with it, because after I would sketch out my concepts, I would then paint them digitally and then include that in my sketchbook. So over here you can see you know, comparatively my sketchbook drawings, and then after I paint them digitally and including them just so I have that like compare and contrast going on. And I believe I ended up choosing this design as my favorite for my mean girl character. So you can see that with my touch pens, it comes off a little bit. It bleeds through a little bit, but not too much, thankfully. Here again, I'm playing a bit more with different characters. Here it's more so background characters. I have like a little gorilla girl, this fox girl. I have a little X because I did not like this design too much. And again, here I usually work with the color erase pencils and then drawing on top with that Faber-Castell. I also use the sketchbook for my illustration assignments. So I remember that I had this assignment in one of my illustration classes of creating a comic which followed a person throughout their lives. And so I thought it would be a fun exercise to also do a little bit of character development for that project and just like really draw out what their age progression would be like and try to see if I could really make it clear that it's the same characters throughout their life. So going from age 1 to 6 to 15, 25, 45, and 75 years old. And then here I just have some little fun character design just for myself, because I also use the sketchbook just for my own ideas. Apart from that animal zoo school concept, I was also playing around with a retelling of Cinderella. So another thing that I saw quite frequently in character design portfolios was, apart from using like an original concept, that you could also take an existing concept that a lot of people were familiar with and retell it in your own style and in like a new touch. And so here I thought it would be fun to do like a concept of Cinderella. And I like the proportions over here, having like a really fragile, skinny little frame, and then playing around with huge clothes, huge hair, big eyes, and just having like a form where like the clothes are literally hanging off of her, where she's just kind of like hidden in all of that clothing. Really similar to Anastasia, the concept art for that, when she is living at that orphanage. I ended up painting this digitally as well, but I don't think I have it in here, so I'll just include what it looked like, the final version, on top, so you can see what that looks like. My mentor Meg also thought it would be a fun idea if for all of my main characters I also did a little bit of prop design. So here I thought it would be fun where I could do a design of what each of their school bag would look like, as well as what you would find in each of their bags. So here, okay, now here's when I remember what everyone's names are. We have Rudy Radcliffe, Nadine Salt, Otto Bukowski, and Daisy Bradshaw, and then really playing around with trying to express their personality as best as I could, just with what kind of belongings you would find in their bags. So for example, Rudy, he's like a little nerdy little rabbit, so he's got a library card, he's got his big old scarf, he's got his little baby carrots. And then someone like Nadine, she's an artsy girl, so she's got her paint supplies. And then some like Otto, he's a skater boy, and he's got his little beanie and ukulele and whatnot. And then in this final art, you can also see that I tried my best to stick to cohesive color palettes as well, and making a pretty distinct color palette for each of these characters. So autumnal colors for Rudy, pastels for Nadine, red, white, and blue for Otto, and some more girly girl pastels for Daisy. Here are some more character designs that I did for background characters, but for this one I thought it would be a fun exercise where, what if I have like the same animal but try to interpret it in two different ways, especially with an animal like a crocodile that has like a pretty distinct, I guess, personality. Like you immediately think of them as like a ferocious animal. So I did a version where he's kind of like a punk croc, and then a version where he's like a little bit more prep. A couple more character designs for background characters. I didn't really like these ones, but again, just playing around with shapes and whatnot. Looking at these now, I definitely have improved since then. I mean, it has been like 6 years now, so there are a lot of changes that I would make. My sense of anatomy has improved, as well as my sense of proportion. Like, I feel like when I look at something like this, it's all just too big, in the sense of like, there's no distinct sense of proportion. Like, it's all very equally, let me show you. When you're looking at like appealing character design, like the head, the body, and the legs are all pretty much the same size, but it would have been more interesting if there were different proportions. Like if I made this head much smaller, you know, in comparison to the rest of the body, that would have been a bit more appealing and give a bit of balance instead of it all being exactly the same. But the background character designs that I did like, that you saw previously, my two crocodiles and my little orangutan, I ended up painting them digitally again. I also really like the washi tape that I used here. Then some more background characters, again playing around with, you know, same type of animal and interpreting them in different ways. So I've got a tiger and a lion. Tiger is more of a jock character, and I thought it would be fun to play around with like a lion who's a little bit emo, so he's got like his hair in front of his face. And here is the colored version. You can see that, like, if you compare the sketch over here to here, I've definitely improved the anatomy and the proportions over here. Yeah. Let's flip this around for a quick second. Just some cute little character designs for myself. Here I'm working with pencils and my color erase Then here, what do we have here? So this was for a character design assignment in my school. I forgot what it was. I think I had to just like, I can't remember what the assignment was. I think you had to make a character, for expressions. I think it was for expressions. And so I created this character who's like a little librarian. I really like the proportions and like the features that I chose for this, just having him kind of really hidden in his scarf with like a little nose peeking out to really emphasize like an owlish kind of design. And you can see it completed over here. And I do like that I went for a mid-century look over here, so you can see that like my color blocks are peeking out from outside the lines, you know, stuff like that. I'm actually still pretty happy with this. Here, I'm going through a definite Tumblr, crystal girl kind of phase. Yeah, this was when I was like really active on Tumblr, I think. So very much influenced by Steven Universe-esque styles, and being deep and whatever. Yeah, I actually still really like these. I think they're kind of cute. And then colored versions of them over here. I also took a calligraphy course, which I half finished, which is why the calligraphy is not as great as it could be. And some more girls. I love drawing girls. Sometimes I'll draw on a separate piece of paper, and so we got some more girls and really playing around with my Pentel brush pens over here and really playing around with thick versus thin lines. So like for example over here, just like really thick strokes for the hair contrasted by really thin ones. And then this was for a character design assignment as well, where we had to create some cowboys. And yeah, I made like a little cowboy girl. Actually, still really like this one too. More stuff for my character design class. So the funny thing was that like I was pretty known for in my school for drawing, having a very specific style and drawing very, very cute and just not wanting to change that. And so my professors would always really try to get me out of my comfort zone and assign me like, Anoosha, we're gonna make you draw some horror. We're gonna make you draw some dudes. We're gonna make you draw stuff you really don't like drawing. And I hated it. And so I had to draw a Viking. He still looks cute though. The proportions make no sense, the arm doesn't make sense, I don't know what's going on with the hands. I'm not happy with this at all. Note, Anoosha does not know what a Viking looks like. Oops. And she was right about that. This girl, I don't know what was going on over here. This was an assignment for another character design class. I forget what it was, but I think it was like taking architecture and trying to create fashion out of it. Don't think I did enough research on this. I'm really not happy with this. Yeah, I'm not really happy with this. Then for my Rudy animal pitch idea, I had to draw some teachers. And so here I've got a cute little bear. She got booty. We have a hawk. We have a rhinoceros. I don't know. A rhino, let's say. And then in my story, the principal was this cool, suave little panther, and he was the dad of the mean girl cat girl. I really like his design still. Couple more teachers. I tried to play around with the principal character a bit more and really trying to make him as sleek as possible. Definitely inspired by, I can't remember what his name is, but in Courage the Cowardly Dog, the red cat, what's his name? I can't remember. Got an owl teacher and we got another bear teacher. I love drawing big eyebrows. And here are my main characters. I've got Rudy over here. I've got Otto the otter. and Nadine the fox, and she's like a beret girl, very much snaps to that, and then the colored version of it as well. And you can see I still have like that same color palette situation going on. Autumnal colors, red, white, and blue, and then pastel snaps to that. I love this guy. This is Ned the Baker from Pushing Daisies, one of my favorite shows. Lovely face. Really cute. And then Meg asked me to do some poses for Rudy, and again I tried to sketch them out first over here and really trying to work around with different expressions, poses that really emphasize a bit of story. So you've got one over here where he falls asleep when he's reading. You've got one because he's like, you know, bullied and everything, so he's hung up on like a gym hook. His clothes are too big for him. He's doing some research. It's like tugging on his ears when he's nervous and whatnot. And this is what the final looks like. So this is how I basically planned out most of my pages, where I would have like a final art over here and then some poses and then some outfit choices, because why not? Why not? And then similarly, I did the same for my main mean girl, Daisy, as well. I really like the idea where she's just like this cute, chubby little Persian, super fluffy. She's a diva, she's very round. I love those shapes going on here, but don't mess with her because she's a little crazy. You know, she's a little crazy. Don't mess with her. So I don't know if I colored these or not. I think I must have, but I just forgot to add that in. But yeah. Then this was for a commission that I was hired for. I had to illustrate. I actually forgot what this was for, but someone asked me to illustrate a little girl for them. I really still like this design, actually. And so I started off with a little bit of exploration over here. Definitely playing with the big curly hair. This one is super inspired by Mary Blair style art. And you know what? Very much the Sugar Rush Racers as well. I think I definitely would have referenced that for this design. But yeah, this is what the final looks like. And this is based off of this sketch, which I probably sent over to the commissioner. And another sketch. So apart from doing all of that, you know, prop design, character design, whatnot, I was asked by Meg to also do a scene. And so I started the sketch for like a possible scene for the Rudy story, where you have Rudy, he's really small, he's working on his exam or something, and all of like the big carnivore animals are just leering on him like, we gonna eat you. We're gonna eat you up. We're gonna gobble you up, Rudy. I remember I had a really hard time illustrating this, and if I can find it, I'll include the final digital illustration. I just could not figure out the lighting, and so, but I'm still kind of happy with the composition over here. But yeah, this was really fun. Then here, I still really like this too. Just cute shapes, cute concept. Anatomy does not make any sense. Neck is too long. Neck is too curvy. I think the features are a little too close over here, but otherwise kind of cute. Kind of cute. And then some buildings over here, which I cannot remember what this is for. Then here's some drawings of myself. I was super into big cardigans, big dresses, was it like the Maury girl style of fashion, very forest girl, very autumnal. And I love my hairbands, love my big glasses and my kitty sweaters. So that's a little self-portrait. Oh, here we are back to that Cinderella concept. I don't know what this is, but I did a little bit more drawing of Cinderella over here. And then this I still absolutely love. I peaked here. I don't think I'll ever draw as good as this again, but here is the Cinderella stepsisters, the fairy godmother, and queen stepmother. I absolutely still love this design. Like, I cannot believe I drew this. This is very much inspired by what's his name? The Ronald Searle? I'm gonna googly this up a little bit real quick. Yes, it's Ronald Searle. I was right. If you guys have seen the Saint Trinian's comics and whatnot, so I love his style. Super cool. I started leaning more towards thinner pens here instead of like my thick brush pen, but I still love this, man. Couple more drawings of Cinderella. So here we have Cinderella tying up her stepmom's corset. Her waist is snatched, man. Damn. I think I drew this before I did this one, but here I am playing around with concepts for the fairy godmother and different styles of faces and really pushing proportions here. So I definitely want the fairy godmother to be a bit smaller, but like her hair should match up to the size of Cinderella. And yeah, you know, playing around with noses and like really long eyelashes and big hair. Like, I wanted everyone in this concept to have like gorgeous, huge, amazing hair. Then what is this? Oh, it's Series of Unfortunate Events. Did a little doodly-doo of the Baudelaire's, I guess. I still love this. And here's like, this is when I started doing like the cross eyes. It's kind of cute. Drew some cars, have no idea why. I don't know if this was an assignment for something, or maybe Meg was like, Anoosha, you need to get out of your comfort zone. What is something you hate drawing? And I was like, I hate drawing cars. And she's like, you know what, Anoosha, you have to go out and draw a page full of cars. And I'm like, okay, fine. So yeah, I drew some cars. I love this little baby though. He's real cute. Oh, here you go. Love this guy. Love this guy. Obviously, I have to draw the Prince Charming after. So I thought it would be fun to contrast Cinderella's design because she's really skinny. She's got like very round features, and so to contrast, having a very angular dude would be really cute. And so got one where they're arm in arm together. Got one where he has just found the slipper and he's like, oh my goodness, I gotta find this lady. I gotta find her. She's lovely. I love her. Look at that face. He's just like, he's bashful. That's what he is. He's a shy boy. He's tousling his hair. He's like, oh my god, I love her. But yeah, I peeked at this design, man. Jeez, he is cute. He's real cute. More cars. I hate it. This, I don't know what this was for. Oh, I can't remember. Never mind. Drawing some basset hounds. Doing a little character design for some basset hounds over here. What is this? More girls. Playing around with my brush pens again. Haven't seen you in a while. Some more character designs. I think this was for a class, and he's pretty cute. Again, I drew on like a piece of paper and I must have really liked it, so I stuck it back in again, and I'm again playing around. I kind of mix it up, don't I? Like sometimes I do like a much thinner brush over here, and then I switch to my thicker brush here. Here I'm playing around with cactus designs. I'm using my touch pens, and I think, yeah, like playing around with different versions of like using line and not using line. Oh, I'll show you this first. Here's a colored version of the stepsisters in like a mean pose. It's pretty cute. And then I started making comics. So what am I saying over here? I'm like, act like an adult. No, you can't wear PJs all day. Yes, I can. You're 21. Oh my God, I'm 21 here. That was, okay, yeah, so that was 6 years ago. That's so crazy. I've got my ukulele. I do what I want. An artist, maybe you should get a real job. Maybe you should shut up. Wow, I was feisty. Yeah, I love my cat sweaters. Got my little Donald. Love it. I think we're actually, nope, we still got some more dogs. I love drawing dogs, playing around with different breeds. Macho dog, cute dog. Left this one blank for some reason. Even more dogs, jeez. I think this might have been a character design assignment. I got dogs out the wazoo. This one I really like. I think this went really well. What is this dog called? I think it's an Afghan. And she's got her hairs in a braid. She's like a little hippie dog. She's got long hair. She is beautiful. She's a beautiful dog. Then I've never really been the kind of person to do cafe drawings and like draw people that I see outside, but I guess I must have tried to attempt it over here. So yeah, just drawing people that I see outside at the book depository, I guess. I'm not really sure where that is. It must have been winter too, because everyone's in like their big old coats. You know what? I think I might have been at Starbucks actually, because that's where I usually went to draw. Oh, here we got some monsters. This definitely would have been an assignment where my teachers are like, Anoosha, you never draw any monsters. You gotta draw some monsters and make them scary. And I'm like, you know what? If I draw monsters, I'm gonna make them cute. Why do professors always want you to draw things you don't want to draw? It is frustrating. I get that like they're trying to get us to go outside of our comfort zone. But, you know, I like drawing what I like to draw. Okay? And that's my business. I think this one's cute. I still love this one. It's cute. Here's another comic. Actually, I really like this one. And I think I colored this in after as well. I'll include a little, you know, the before and after. But I've always had like really thick eyebrows, especially a little bit of a unibrow. So I got, your eyebrows are huge. You really should do something about that. Yo, these aren't eyebrows, they're just fuzzy caterpillars. Say hi, guys. Hi, what's up? And you got the Steven Universe eyes. I'm telling you guys, I was like a Tumblr girl. I was the Tumblr fangirl back in the day. Well, this is a completely different style, I think. Don't know what happened over here, but I think it's cute. And I still got some more little sketches. I probably started this and then I was like, you know what, this page is ruined. I'm just gonna skip over to the next one. That's fine. So, okay, here we go. So as part of my illustration program in your last semester, basically you need to create some kind of a thesis project. And you can do literally whatever you want. Some people decided, well, first of all, my graduating class was literally 10 people. It was a teeny tiny school. But in my illustration program, there were 5 of us. We were all girls. It was really fun. Oh my God, it was so much fun. And so there was one person who did like a bunch of merch. There was one person who did some tattoos, I think. There's another person who did like graphic design poster series. And I decided that on top of like the stuff that I was doing with Meg, which was like a character design portfolio, separately, I wanted to create a picture book. And so this was like the beginnings of that. So in another video, I'll probably show my thesis of like my first picture book project I've ever made. If you guys are interested, if you are, please let me know. But before I made that concept, this was my original concept, which was basically 4 girls, these little kids, and they have a tree house and they just go on adventures together. And so these were like my initial concepts for spreads. So here's one where like the girls are lying on their backs and they're just daydreaming. Here, like a little brother has stolen their crown, one of the girls' crowns, and she's like, oh no, my crown! Please someone get it. And her friend's like, don't you worry, I can get it for you. And it's like, that's when they start make-believing and everything. And so like the whole concept was like, at the beginning it starts off where like the girls are just like, you know, they're playing in their treehouse, and then it evolves into make-believe, you know. So you have a scene where like the girl is walking the plank, but it's probably she's just on a log or something. You got one where they are going through the woods and like the girls are in their princess outfits, and this girl, she's in like her knight outfit, and they're like fireflies and everything. I actually really like these, but eventually I ended up not going forward with this, and I think there were some problems with the story that I couldn't figure out, but maybe looking back at this, I might try to pitch this because I think it's still really cute. But anyway, here, one of my friends, he was developing an app idea, and so he wanted me to design a logo for him. So I have like this little ice cube character who was really cute. Actually, that's my friend, Armin. That's, I think I did some drawings while I was with him at Starbucks. I don't know what happened to that app, but I still really like this little ice cube guy. And then here's, I think there's a show called Pan Am, which was super fun. It was about like, you know, Pan Am, the airline from the 60s, and Margot Robbie was in it. So I think this was a drawing of her. And I think, oh, we have like 2 pages left. Okay, so here's some more concept spreads of that picture book concept that I had earlier. Actually, no, you know what? I think this might be a different concept. I think because that first concept didn't work, then I tried a different one. And it's about 2 sisters who are completely opposite to each other, or no, 2 friends who live next door to each other. And they're like complete opposites, I think. I cannot remember, but I think it's still kind of cute. I'll bring it up a little closer so you can see. So you got like spread 1 where you got houses in a row, spread 2 where you can see like they're 2 rooms and like they're standing next to each other and their personalities and whatnot. And then, yeah, final page, you guys. This was watching How to Train Your Dragon 2 in the cinemas, and then afterwards, man, I love this movie. I did a little bit of fan art. I could not draw Vikings previously in, what was that page? Yeah. I did not know how to draw Vikings or what they looked like previously, but I do now. That is character development growth. That is, I'm just growing as an artist, you guys. But yeah, that's pretty much my sketchbook. This is, I only had like 1, 2, 3, 4, actually I know I got a few more pages left over, but this is pretty much like the only sketchbook I've ever completed pretty much, and also put so much effort in by like, you know, sticking little pages in, by putting in completed works in and whatnot. So I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I feel like this added a lot to my growth as an artist. And I'm, like I said, I'm like a digital artist these days, so I don't really feel the need to have a sketchbook, but I really want to, but I also just don't have the time. So that's why I wanted to show you an older sketchbook to just see and kind of compare what my art was like when I was in school versus to what it is now, because you guys know what my art is like now. But yeah, this was 6 years ago when I was in my last year as an artist. Well, no, in my last year at an art school at Ceruleum École d'Art Visuelle. And yeah, I hope this was somewhat interesting for you guys, and just kind of like seeing my process back in the day, and especially like how this little project came to be. I think this was kind of a success because this portfolio did get me my first job in animation at Industrial Brothers in Canada a few months later. So thank you, Meg. Thank you, Meg. Yeah, but if you guys are interested in seeing a second video going over all of my other sketchbooks, which, like I said, some of them include things that I'm still really proud of, and some of them don't. But if you, I don't know, if it might be like of interest to you guys, let me know. So I might show you all of my other sketchbooks. And then secondly, if you guys want to see my thesis project and basically have a video where I critique my very first picture book that I've ever done, you know, and just go over my process for doing that and what things I would change now, let me know and I will make a video of that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. As always, I try my best to answer things as best as I can. I'm still working on the negotiation video. I'm still working on a lot of other videos. I've just been like super busy with my book, That's Not My Name, which is not available for pre-order yet, but as soon as it is, guys, I'm gonna leave a pre-order link below so you can go get that. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, then please check out my book on how please check out my video on how I got my book deal. But yeah, like I said, hope you enjoyed and I'll see you next time. Bye!